Here we go again on Measuring Valley Hoops. We got Michael Brooks, Bradley, University coach. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Debbie. It's good to see you.
We're ready to break it down a little bit, all right? So I like to say, break it down some.
Let's break it down.
Okay, so here's the thing. You've already won more games than last year. You are seeing progress with your team. You've won 3 of your last 6, so you're on a little bit of a roll here. What is working?
You know, when we win, we put the ball in the hole. We share the ball. We take really unselfish shots. You know, we're really focused on doing, I would say, the little things correctly, waiting for screens, setting up screens, reading the second layer of the defense. You know, when we are sharing the ball and playing in tune offensively, you know, we score. And that's an amazing thing for us because, you know, we've shown the ability to play tough defense. You know, we've been able to pressure the ball. We've been able to, I think our last game, we set a home record for, total points in a game, and we held Illinois State to 15% shooting. But when we play well and when we've been able to get on these rolls and win, you know, I wish we would have had four out of the last 2 out of the last 6. You know, we played a great game at Missouri State and had a 15-point lead and let it slip because, honestly, we didn't execute in crunch time. So to me, the main thing for us is when we execute offensively and keep our passion on defense, you know, we have really started to take some steps in the right direction.
Mike, you mentioned your defense. 38 points is what you held Illinois State to with that 15% field goal percentage. How were you able to do that? Was it a simple high hands, closeouts, boxing out, running the floor? I mean, what were the things that were working?
Yeah, you know, I got to give credit to, my assistant coach, Coach Lindsey Schultz. You know, no head coach, you know, is does everything. And, you know, she's my defensive coordinator and the game plan she had in tune. And, you know, my kids locked in. They understood who could hurt us, you know, the positions that they could hurt us in. And we really forced them to do their secondary actions. And the big piece of the puzzle, though, is for us, we've been able to get a lot of stops, but Letty Lerma did a great job coming in. I mean, she had 14 boards, you know, 7-0 boards, 7 defensive boards. And when she can come and clean up the mess and limit them to one and done, then our defense takes on, you know, a whole nother purpose. But you got to give credit where credit is due. My assistant coach did a great job with the game plan. My kids understood what we needed to do, and we were just locked in and got it done for our seniors on that senior night.
Okay, so forget about defense. I'm done talking about that. Now I want to talk about Kat Yell. I want to talk about how she is able, you mentioned, get to the second level, get to that back row. What has she been able to do, and how quickly has she been able to pick up the way you want to play?
You know, I think it's tough when you've played your career in one place and you have to make a transition. And in 1 year, not only do you become a captain on the team, but you become the heartbeat of the team. And, you know, I got to give so much credit to that young lady and the leadership. You know, she comes from a great family, a family that's rooted in the military. And she's kind of brought in that mentality of leadership and of equality and of this is how you perform under pressure, and this is what you do. You win every drill, every push-up drill you win, and she's just brought in a whole different mentality in our point guard spot, you know. But when it comes to our offense, when she pushes the ball and we get going in transition, she can distribute the ball real well. What I like about what she does is that she keeps us all on the same page. You know, we still have 10 kids that are freshmen and sophomores, so. You know, there are times where she has to be a coach on the floor, not just a player. She has to be able to get them in the right situations. And they've really latched onto her and have learned what it takes to get that job done. So she sees things before they happen. She's able to get the ball into tight places. And what she's really helped us do is get the ball inside, and then our outside shots start to fall. What she has really focused on is Vanessa Marker, who's a freshman, Tamia Sims, who's a sophomore, really getting the ball inside to them, and then has allowed our outside game to be able to hit on all cylinders. And those are the games that we win, but it's definitely an inside-out approach, and she's the catalyst to start that.
Okay, you mentioned some of those young players, and you do have a young team, and Kat has certainly helped you, play at another level, especially in transition. That's fantastic. Okay, so you mentioned something about offensive days. Are there any other kind of days in basketball? I mean, Do you have defensive days in your system, or you just work on getting your players to be able to make more plays and make them better?
I mean, we work on offense so much. I mean, the thing that you have to remember about my program, my first 2 years, we were in the top 20 in the nation in scoring. We pushed the ball extremely hard. Our transition game allowed us to be able to put the ball in the hole at a very good clip. Kadion, who's now playing professionally overseas, had a tremendous year under our guidance. Her senior year, where we really allowed her to play different ways and use our transition to be able to be the momentum builder for us. Honestly, I think last year we took a big step back because we started 4 freshmen for most of the year, and they had trouble discerning between what is a good shot in transition, what is a bad shot in transition, when do we need to set it up and make sure that we get the best shot possible. And now I really feel like this team understands, and Kat has been a big influence. And also what really hurt us is we had a great two-headed punch with Kat Yell and then Gabby Green. Gabby Green is a freshman guard that started for us at the beginning of the year, and she went down with the meniscus and some bone issues where we haven't had that two-headed monster. Because of that, Kat has to play a lot of minutes, and then our transition game at times we have to be able to pull back and make sure that we're executing. But this is wonderful. I know Coach Sky, who's my offensive coordinator, we're all about tempo, tempo, tempo. It's the way we practice. It's the way we play. And it all starts with our transition. And, if we're able to get people on their heels automatically, then the back screens, then the stagger screens, then all of our screening action can take place and we'll get really good open shots. But when our transition game is on, most kind of like Drake. I love Drake. I love Jenny and what she's able to do with their tempo. That's the same type of tempo we want to play with. But we've got to make sure that we understand what good shots are for our ball club and who needs to be taking those. And now that we've really gotten focused and understanding our roles and responsibilities, you've seen us be able to add to our offensive prowess a lot.
Mike, I didn't do all the research on this, and I should have, but man, I don't know if there is any other team that has a harder finish in conference play than what you have. Because you got to go on the road and play at Northern Iowa, at Drake, at Loyola. These are teams that are in the top half of your league. I don't think I checked a couple of the bigger leagues, and no one has that kind of finish playing like 1, 2, 3 in the league. You've got a young team. Kat has done a good job of administering and game management. What do you need to do to finish strong so that you can go away and say, this is something my kids can build on for next year?
If you look at our game, and we're not focused past, honestly, Northern Iowa right now. I mean, we've spent the last 2 days geared up on making sure that we correct the things that, were our downfall last time. I mean, we are going game by game. We don't look ahead. We can't look ahead because we want to do whatever we can to put ourselves in the best position when that tournament time comes. So for us right now, it's all about Northern Iowa. And if you look at our first game, I know offensively we made 2 big plays in that game that were negative. Tanya is a big sister to me, and she put on a 2-2-1 press in the fourth quarter when the game was tied up, and we had 2 turnovers that allowed them to take the lead. With our young team, we weren't able to combat those turnovers that really propelled them in order to get that win. I mean, we held them to 55 points at home, and for us defensively, that's what we needed to do. But we've got to take care of the ball. Turnovers, when you want to play at a good tempo, we've got to take calculated risks. We love backdoors. We love taking those opportunities when teams want to get out and overplay. But at the same time, if it's not there, go to your second and third. Make sure you touch 3 sides of the floor. Make sure you're going inside out. For us, we have got to go there and be very, very poised and very patient in order to find the right shots. They did a great job of doubling off on us, of making Kat hit some open shots. They really did a great game plan on us. And now we get to go in there and show them how much we've grown. But really, it's all about us. If we can handle our business, not have turnovers, and be very calculated on where we want the ball to go and who we need our shots to come from, we'll have the opportunity to be successful. And then that success then can spur us on to Drake. And we won't even think about Loyola for a while. So, for us, when we think about the task at hand, we got number one in our league. And, we owe them because we didn't play the best way that we didn't finish the game the way that we needed to finish it at home. So I know my kids are excited. Such a great team, such a great bunch of coaches at Northern Iowa. So for us to have the opportunity to go in their court and, to represent Bradley, you got to be excited to be able to finish out the year that way.
Mike, you keep thinking 80 points a game. You just keep going to sleep every night. You keep thinking 80, man, and you're going to make it happen for your team. I really appreciate you being with us for Measuring Valley Hoops.
Oh, I appreciate it too, Debbie. Our arms need to fall off, and that's all we talk about. I walked past the gym, and we had a couple of kids in there making their arm fall off, and I said, "You better put it in some ice because I'm going to go talk to that lady who talks about it all the time." So
that's it. Amen. You're on the crusade, man. That's what we're doing. We're crusading for offense. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you so much.